Hey, Daniel Lanier here, and I got the Ninja Foodie 6-in-1, and I'm gonna talk to you today about something with the 6-in-1. One of the features in the 6-in-1 that you're probably like, I'm never gonna use that. Why is that even on here? I don't need that, and that's the dehydrate feature. A lot of people are like, I don't need to dehydrate. Why would I even want that feature? I don't need that. I'm gonna show you something cool that you can do with the dehydrate feature on the Ninja Foodie. We're also going to talk about the match cook. So this video right here, we're going to talk about two things. We're going to talk about that dehydrate, and we're going to talk about the match cook feature. I'm also going to bring in another little product here that's going to help us out and why you want to use a dehydrate. And this is the Link Chef mini grinder. And you'll see why we're going to use that little guy later with this dehydrate feature. But you're going to like this. Trust me, you will want to use the dehydrate feature. This is Daniel Lanier, Ninja Foodie, dehydrate, match cook. Let's go. All right, so right over here, I got a lineup of a whole bunch of jalapenos that I've cut up, and these I cut them into little strips. And then I've also got some habaneros that I've cut up, and I got those in little strips. Now, I want to throw this out here first. And if you're going to do something like this, what we're going to do, I'm telling you, if you're cutting up this many jalapenos, you want to put some gloves on. You want to have gloves on because you're going to get a lot of that capsaicin and that oil on your hands, which can actually burn your hands. Put that stuff. I got some habanero in my eye one time. Ooh, brutal, let me tell you. So you want to make sure you got some gloves on if you're working with this much product as far as this many peppers that you're working with. Now, what are we doing, you asked Daniel. Why do you have all of these jalapenos and these habaneros cut up? So if you've got your own garden, so you guys know I love to garden, got a garden, and you got a lot of things, produce, because sometimes you'll have too much and you can't use it all, and you're thinking about other ways to use it. You know, you may give it to people and stuff like that. But I'm gonna give you something cool you can do in your house. Or if you just want to do what I'm gonna do, you may want to go out and just buy produce if you don't have a garden yet, and you can buy produce and do what I'm going to do right now. And what I'm going to do is make a custom pepper. So what I'm doing is I'm going to use the dehydrate feature on the Ninja Foodie. We're going to dehydrate these jalapenos and habaneros, and we're going to make a habanero jalapeno pepper. So you can, there's a lot of different things that you can dehydrate and make custom peppers out of for yourself, or just custom seasoning by dehydrating things and making them into a seasoning. And what you're going to do, we're going to dehydrate them, then we're going to put them in the grinder, grind them down, and we're going to turn them into like a pepper. So you're going to be able to see that. You'll see it. There'll be like a fine little dust from the grinder, and you can make your own custom seasoning, custom pepper. That's why that dehydrate feature is awesome. I got a lot of other features we can use this dehydrate feature for me, which I will share with you. But this is one of them that I think a lot of people will love. You know, you got your garden, you got your own vegetables. Why not make your own natural seasonings out of your own garden? That's pretty cool, right? So we're gonna get into it. I got everything all set up. All we gotta do is get it in the dehydrator now, get it dehydrated. And that's gonna take a little bit of time. We'll talk about that in a second. But that's what we're doing. We're gonna dehydrate jalapenos, habaneros, and make a custom pepper, jalapeno, habanero. Ooh, it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be a little spicy. Custom pepper, let's get it. All right, so the first thing when you're dehydrating, the reason I cut these down in the strips, because you really wanna get fine pieces when you're dehydrating. And we'll see, these actually might be a little big, but we'll find out. And I'm just gonna place these in here. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get them all in here. And we're gonna have to use, we got so many, we're gonna have to use both trays. Do this. And this is why I got the gloves on, because you know you're handling a lot of peppers, you're getting all that capsaicin on your fingers. Trust me when I tell you, I've made plenty of jalapeno poppers. When you're working with a lot of them, when you're cutting up a lot and you just got that all on your hands, you definitely want to wear a glove when you're doing this. And I know some people are like, Neil, you're crazy wearing gloves. I'm telling you, I've had my fingers numb before doing this. cutting up peppers like this and not having gloves on. So I'm going to put some gloves on this time. Now, normally you want to try to have everything kind of evenly stacked in here. You don't want things on top of each other. I'm going to put just a couple on top of each other. And I'm going to see how it works out. It might not work out good, but we're gonna try it out. We're going to see how it works out. I'm going to put it just a couple on top on here. Normally, in the dehydration process, you want everything really spread out. So I may have to do this in two separate runs. All right, so I'm gonna fill this basket up, and then I'll fill the other basket up, and then we'll go into match cook, and then we'll talk about that. All right, so we have both baskets full, and each one of these baskets is 4 quarts, so that's gonna give us an overall 8 quarts that we're using. So we've got this one, and this one's got the habaneros and the jalapenos in here, and then this was the first one that we did that just has the jalapenos in here. So we have both baskets loaded up, so we're gonna power on. And right now you can see only the first basket is chosen right now. So like a normal cook, when we turn it on, we're only using 1 basket, or we could be using 2 and we're cooking, doing a different type of thing in each basket. But what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna do the match cook. And what the match cook is gonna do is it's activating the second basket, and whatever we put on, it's gonna match it across both baskets. So you're getting the benefit of a full 8 quarts. You're matching the temperature and the time and everything across both of these baskets. So we're gonna set our temp. Oh wait, gotta put it on what we want, which is dehydrate. So we're doing dehydrate, and we're gonna set our temp to 135. So for the peppers, it's gonna be right around 135 that you wanna use. If you were doing like meats, like making your own jerky, another reason you wanna use a dehydrator, that's probably about 150 that you're gonna use for meats and stuff like that. But for this, 135 is fine. And then for the time, dehydrating takes some time. We're gonna do 6 hours of dehydrate time, and that should be fine for this 6. Some things are 6 to 7, 6 to 8 hours, but 6 hours is gonna be fine on this. And we're just gonna let this go overnight, let it do its deal, and then we're gonna come back. I will see you guys in 6 hours. I'm gonna show you guys how this looks dehydrated, and then we're gonna go ahead and put it in the grinder and make our custom pepper. So that is the match cook, which basically we're matching the temperature and the time across both of these zones, and we're using a dehydrate to dehydrate these peppers to make our own custom pepper. All right, so cool. So dehydrate, making custom pepper across both baskets. Let's get it done. All right, we're all done. I did 2 cycles. So we dehydrated 2 cycles of jalapenos and habaneros, both taking about 8 hours each. So really good process. Everything looks good. So I want to show you guys what it's going to look like after you dehydrate everything, and then we're going to go ahead and get ready to make some pepper. So everything's all done. Did a great job. Ninja Foodie does a great job at dehydration. So we're going to talk a little bit about that once I show you guys what this looks like. Then we're going to get into this pepper. So let's go. So this was the first round that I did, and basically you're gonna get kind of like chips. You kind of hear them, they're kind of like chips after you do this. You can have. Now I probably could have went a little thinner than what I did for the jalapenos, because what you want them as crispy, you want them as hard as possible. So the habaneros are great. And really crispy in there, because to get this to powder, it needs to be really hard. If it's really soft, or it's soft in there, it's probably not gonna work. And then these were the last batch that I did, and you can hear them, how hard they are, how crispy they are, crisping up in there. Take these out. All right, so the next phase of this is where we're going to take the Link Chef And this is really cool because all this is basically like a blender. It's just a smaller version of a blender, but its main purpose is to grind things. It's to grind things down. So we're going to take this little mini grinder, and basically I'm going to take these, and I'm just going to pop them in here. Just breaking the jalapenos. And you'll grind down. All right, so let's go with that. Oh, let me give you guys another little tip here when you're using a grinder, a mini grinder, especially when you're using peppers. So I would say definitely with the habaneros, you want to be careful. So once I start grinding and I get this down, I grind this down, don't open this up right away. The first time I did this, I was excited. I wanted to open it up. I wanted to see what I had. And there was still some fumes from grinding in there. So when I opened it up, those fumes came out, and I basically pepper sprayed myself. So you do not want to do that. You want to be very careful, especially when you're dealing with peppers, because this is going to be, it's going to be very concentrated in this little area when you do it. So you want to be careful when you go down. So I got a little bit going on in here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind down, and then I'll add to it, grind down, add to it. But I'm going to grind for a second, and I just want to show you guys what it looks like after you get a little bit grinded down. So I'm going to put the cover on. Plugged in. And I did that whole thing with this unplugged because if I'm putting things in there next to the blade, I don't want to have it powered on, so I don't want to be close to the blade. So I usually will unplug it. So as I'm taking things in and out, I'm unplugging the link shelf. All right, so here we go. And it's got this clear window so you can see, so you don't have to open it up to see what you have. I was just excited the first time I did it, when I opened it up. But I can see in there, and you can see how the dust is coming up like that. You can see all the dust in there. You definitely don't want to open it like right after you do that. That thing is there's still dust fuming around in there. All right, I'm gonna let that kind of settle down for a second, then we'll open it up. I'll show you guys what we have. Then I'm just gonna keep going through the process. I'm gonna keep adding, but I want to show you guys a second what you're gonna get to. All right, so this is what you're gonna get to. So this is some ground up habaneros that we did previously. So you can see, got those all grounded down in there. And now we're just going to add, so this is a mix. So this is kind of a hot seasoning that I'm doing, where basically I'm doing habaneros and jalapenos together, a little spicy seasoning there. So we got this grinding up, and this is about down. So let's go ahead, we can open that up and see how this is coming along. And you can see we're getting that ground down. I'm just going to move it just a little bit here. Let me just kind of move that, and then you can see we're starting to get that down. And even that little bit kind of got in my throat after I've let that sit for a little while. So again, be careful with this. You might even want to wear a mask if you're doing a lot. So just be careful with that, because the stuff will powder up on you when you're doing peppers like this, and you basically are pepper spraying yourself. So just be careful with that. All right. Let's go. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to make some more, and I'll show you guys what the end result looks like once I get everything done. All right, so there it is. We got the Ninja Foodie using that dehydrate mode. We made a custom pepper with habaneros and jalapenos. We just used a grinder to grind that up once we dehydrated it. But I want you guys to really think about using this dehydrate mode, because it can really add some benefits to how you eat, the things you put on your foods and things like that. I did some apples as well. So I dehydrated some apples. So you're talking about making healthy snacks for yourself. There's a lot of cool things that you can make with this dehydrate mode that I really want you guys to think about. That's why I wanted to do a video just on that alone, just to talk about and get you guys to think about things that you can make. Because if you're a gardener like me, All you have to do is go to the store, look at a jar of seasoning, like a dry rub or seasoning like that, see what's in it. If you're growing those things in your own garden, you can dehydrate and make your own custom seasonings. So really think about using this dehydrator because it's gonna really help you add some healthy things to your eating lifestyle, to your eating habits, like these apples. You can do all kind of dehydrated fruits like pineapples, just all kind of things that you can do. So really think about that. Ninja Foodie, working great. Check out all the other videos that I got on the Ninja Foodie because there's a lot of stuff you can do with this thing. Don't be scared of the 6-in-1 and think, I'm not going to use any of that stuff. I'm going to use one thing. I'm telling you guys, you get this Ninja Foodie 6-in-1, dehydrate, a lot of these other features, you are going to love it, love it, love it. And I'm going to tell you this, for me, you might not use your stove as much as you thought you were going to use because you're going to be using this thing quite often. So this is Daniil Lanier. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. I got more reviews, more DIY, how-tos, and of course, cool motivation coming at you. I'm going to eat some of these apples. I'm out. Deuces.